Always felt like something was gonna happen, but I just didn't think she would die. For you just to take her life as if she didn't matter is heartbreaking.
This is Love Hurts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future content. 30-year-old Malinda Robertson was described by her family as strong, very compassionate, and determined. She was a loving mother to 4 beautiful children. So as you can imagine, Melinda's hands were full. Her days were filled with providing and caring for her kids. They were her number one concern, and making sure that they were happy and healthy was her top priority. Melinda was an excellent mother, but she wasn't without flaws. And she wasn't always on the right side of the law either. She had a few arrests under her belt, including a 2018 incident in which Melinda was arrested for lying about the abduction of her 3-year-old son, which led authorities to issue an Amber Alert. Melinda was charged with false reporting to law enforcement authorities after investigators determined her son was never in any danger. 1 month prior to this incident, Melinda was arrested for driving without a driver's license, as well as theft of property and receiving stolen property. I'm not exactly sure why Melinda would rack up such petty charges, but I'm willing to bet her relationship with 37-year-old Milton Ferris had a lot to do with it. Milton was the father of Melinda's youngest child, and the two had been in a relationship for about 6 years. The relationship was volatile and toxic, to say the very least. Milton was a woman beater, and when he drank alcohol, which was often, he would turn into a complete monster. Milton had a lengthy criminal record, including 5 arrests for domestic violence, weapons charges, drug possession, theft, and menacing. In March of 2023, he was sentenced to a month in jail and placed on 3 years probation after pleading guilty to stealing a weapon from a mobile pawn shop. With his reckless criminal history and the alcohol problem, it wasn't hard to see that Milton was the worst type of man to be in a relationship with, and Melinda knew it, but she also knew that Milton would never let her just walk away. According to the police department, on Monday, August 7th of 2023, officers responded to an incident. When they arrived, they discovered 30-year-old Malinda Robertson in front of her apartment. She had sustained a fatal gunshot wound. According to police reports, Melinda and a very drunk Milton had gotten into a heated argument after Milton tried to attack one of Melinda's children. As the argument intensified, Milton pulled out a weapon and he opened fire, striking Melinda multiple times. A bloodied Melinda staggered out of the front door of her apartment and she collapsed. One of her children luckily was able to call 911, but when police arrived, they found Melinda sprawled out on the ground and it was just too late to save her. She was pronounced dead.
Tonight, the family of Malinda Robertson is pulling together after receiving the gut-wrenching news that she was killed Monday night. This was the scene outside the Townhouse Square apartment shortly after 8 o'clock. A domestic violence standoff between Mobile police and this man, Milton Ferris. Police say Ferris killed Robertson, his girlfriend of several years, and took off running.
My older sister Princess called me and she said it was her. And then I realized that one of my youngest sisters was gone forever.
Robertson is leaving behind 4 children. According to 911 transcripts, one of her children called 911 saying she needed help. Robertson's sister, Daisy Drinker, says she died protecting her children.
I just want everybody to know that she did die protecting her daughter. Absolutely. She did. She gave her life. To protect her kids.
According to jail records, Ferris has a long history of domestic violence arrests. Her sister, Princess Cooper, wishes they could have done something to stop this.
People say that, it's hard, I can't do this. And then I know in Melinda's defense, hers was, if I do try to leave, he gonna find me. He gonna find me, he gonna kill me anyway. There are ways to get out of that situation. Just try your best to get as much help as you can.
Now they just want to remember her for the beautiful spirit she had.
Now, after the murder, Milton ran from the scene and he was on the run until the next afternoon when he was apprehended at his job. He arrived to pick up his paycheck. Police say Milton went to his boss looking to get paid early. And the boss, who had seen all of the media reports, knew he was wanted for questioning and called the police on him. Milton was taken into custody and booked, and his charges include murder, discharge of a weapon, first-degree kidnapping, third-degree domestic violence, and a slew of other charges. Shortly after his arrest, Milton spoke with reporters.
It wasn't no attention to me trying to hurt her, doing harm to her. I wish I could take it back, man.
Tonight, regret from the man accused of shooting and killing a woman in Mobile.
That is 37-year-old Milton Ferris being taken to Metro Jail. He's accused of murdering 30-year-old Malinda Robertson last night at an apartment complex on Wagner Street near University Hospital. NBC 15 News was live there as that situation unfolded.
Witnesses say the victim's children saw the horrifying scene. Ferris claims it was an accident.
We was just trying to help her, keep pressure on the wound and trying to save her.
Neighbors who asked not to be shown say last night 30-year-old Malinda Robertson came out of her front door waving one arm in the air before collapsing.
It looked like somebody slung her out the door, or either she was coming out here like trying to get help from what actually happened or whatever.
I saw blood leaking from her face and her neck, so I yelled out, someone called 911.
I'm sorry. Sorry to the family. I'm sorry to my children. This something that should never happen.
Today, police charged 37-year-old Milton Ferris with her murder. He claims he didn't mean to pull the trigger.
I was on the influence of alcohol, and one thing, the gun actually didn't went off. I promise it did. It wasn't no attention to me trying to hurt her, doing harm to her. I wish I could take it back, man.
This case is still ongoing, so we don't yet know the outcome for Milton, but based on his criminal history, he should be sitting in prison for quite a long time. I wish Melinda would have just packed up her stuff, packed up her children, and just moved to a completely different state. She stayed in that abusive relationship because she felt trapped and hopeless. Like her sister said, she felt like even if she did get away, he was just going to kill her regardless. I can't imagine feeling like a dead woman walking, just knowing your fate but feeling powerless to change it. My heart goes out to Melinda's kids and her family. If you are in a domestic abuse relationship, create an out plan and get out. Once you are out, do not turn back. Turning back can cost you your life. As always, loves, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for future content.